I'm Nate Weiner, a composer and software engineer, and I wanted to share a beta version of SpotNote, a note-taking app that I made for spotting sessions. The idea is that when you're in a spotting session, you're often taking free-form, raw notes, often have shorthand time codes, and when you're done with the session, you have to go back, clean all this up, figure out how to get it into some sort of format like a spreadsheet or CueDB, or even a nice printed handout, and it ends up being a lot of work. And that's where SpotNote comes in. So it's still a text editor. So you can write the notes exactly the way you want. So, if I'm going to start a cue here, I'm going to say on the cut, right? And as I'm doing this, you can see that on the side, this spreadsheet is updating with the data that I'm writing. But again, I can still write whatever I want in here. Fade in from a low drone. And let's say I want this cue to end at the 2-minute mark. Writing time codes and colons is a lot of work. So the other thing you can do here is actually just write shorthand time codes. So if I want to say 2 minutes, I really just write 200 and I get that shortcut, the actual time code completed. It figures out in the context of the other time codes around where it's going to be. When I want to start a new cue, I just hit dash dash. And you can see a new queue is created, and I can just start getting in here. So let's say this next one's going to be at 3:15:12 when we see the man enter. I can also write here in the editor, or I can go in here and edit directly in the table as well, and you'll see that it all syncs together just fine. The other really nice thing is that as you're adding cues, you'll see that the IDs are auto-incrementing, but you can change these. So let's say this one is actually 1M02A. I want this one to be 1M02B, and you can see that it still continues to increment. So you only need to update the ones you want. You can also add them all directly if you want. So let's say now you have a full set of spotting notes. I just have 3 cues here, but I imagine you'll have more. But when you're done, you can just go to export, and you can export your notes, the formatted cues, into a spreadsheet, for example. You can see that here. It goes right into its spreadsheet format. It's got extracted all the notes that I wrote out in a nice columns and data. You can also export into Google Sheets. You can export into a format that you can bring right into CueDB. You can also print a really nice formatted spotting sheet. So if I want to be able to print this out, give to the director or to other folks at production, this is right here generated automatically for you as well. The other thing that SpotNote does great is works well with video. So you can load a video into the editor as well. You can load remote links like Dropbox or files directly on your computer. And again, this is just loaded in your browser, private. None of this ever goes anywhere. It only works from your computer. But all the time codes that are in your notes automatically sync the video. So as I'm clicking around, you can see that the time codes in my notes are jumping the video to exactly that moment. So I can actually see a reference of where my notes are referring to. But it also means that you can use this to really dial in exactly the notes that you have. So there's shortcuts to nudge frames. So you can see that as I'm doing this, it's actually just moving both the video and the time code directly that I'm working on. So you can really just dial in exactly the frame that you want to be able to do. You can also insert the timestamp directly that's displayed here. So by just hitting tab, you can see that I've now just inserted the time here, which actually works really well when you're playing the video. You can be talking to the director, you can be watching it, you can see something happen, you can say, okay, that's where I want that to come in. If you want, you could pause, then you can go back to that timestamp and tweak it just to find exactly where you wanted it. Okay, let's say I want right on this cut. Boom. So now again, it's synced right there together with you. So it makes it really easy to be able to actually see what you're doing and control your session. If you wanted to be able to actually share this session with a director or other folks, you can pop this out to its own window, which then you can share just this window over Zoom or whatever you're using, and it will keep your notes just private to you. but it will still stay in sync with your notes just the same way. So that's SpotNote. I've been finding it super useful as I've been able to just use it during spotting sessions to write just raw notes very quickly, write time codes very quickly, and then when I'm done with the spotting session, I can just hit export and I am done. It saved me a ton of time. I hope it saves you a bunch of time. If you use it, I would love to hear from you. Please let me know what's working, other ideas you have, and thanks for watching.